You wake up every day at the same time, follow the same route, sit in the same chair, perform the same tasks, receive the same amount, and go home exhausted. At the end of the month, after paying all the bills, there's almost nothing left. And the next day, the cycle starts again. If that's not slavery, then what is? The only difference between you and a slave from centuries past is that your chains are invisible, and you pay for them yourself. The system didn't need whips or shackles to dominate you. It just had to convince you that this prison is called opportunity. Nature already warned 1,000 goals have existed so far, for there have been 1,000 peoples. Only the chains are missing from the feet of these 1,000 peoples. The single goal is still lacking. Modern work has become these chains that nature anticipated. And the worst part is we forge them ourselves. There was a time when working meant creating, building, transforming reality with one's own hands. The blacksmith shaped iron, the carpenter carved wood, the farmer cultivated the land. Each man mastered his craft from beginning to end, knew every step of the process, and saw the final result of his effort. Work was an extension of identity, not its negation. But something fundamental changed in the structure of human labor. What was once creation became fragmentation. What was once mastery became submission. The industrial system not only divided labor, it divided man. You no longer produce anything complete. You only perform an infinitesimal fraction of a process that you will never fully understand. Think about your current job. Can you explain exactly how your effort turns into the final product? Do you have control over the process? Can you decide the pace, the method, the schedule? The answer is no. You have been reduced to a replaceable part in a gigantic machine that functions independently of your will, your dreams, or your real needs. Schopenhauer observed that all satisfaction, or what is commonly called happiness, is properly and essentially always negative, never positive. In modern work, this negativity becomes absolute. You don't work to achieve something, but to avoid the punishment of hunger, social exclusion, helplessness. Work has lost its affirmative character and become pure negation, negation of freedom, creativity, autonomy. The most perverse thing is that the system has convinced you that this fragmentation is specialization, that this submission is professionalism, that this negation is responsibility. It has transformed the loss of your humanity into civic virtue. And you accepted it because the alternative presented has always been chaos, misery, total exclusion. But here is the brutal truth. There is no essential difference between the modern worker and the ancient slave. Both perform tasks they did not choose, at times they did not determine, to benefit those who own the means of production. The only difference is that the slave knew he was a slave. You were taught to call your slavery a career. What really happened was the greatest anthropological transformation in history. Work ceased to be a human activity and became an anti-human activity. And the scariest thing is that this was not an accident. It was a deliberate project to create a mass of docile, predictable, and eternally dependent workers. The salary became the most brilliant illusion of freedom. It gives you the impression of choice, but in truth, you are only choosing which chain to wear. You sell the best hours of your day to barely survive, renting your own existence month after month. This is not progress. It is elegant slavery. A system built to extract maximum value from your life while returning only what is necessary to keep you working. You've been told to be grateful. At least you have a job. But this phrase is a trap. It turns your awareness of injustice into guilt. You defend your cage because you've been told the world outside it is chaos. Hard work, they say, will set you free. But if that were true, the hardest workers would be the freest people on earth. Instead, millions work endlessly, chained to debts, routines, and invisible obligations that never end. Meritocracy, a comforting lie, a rigged game where the rules change whenever the powerful need them to. You're told to climb the ladder, but the ladder was never meant to reach the top. Its purpose is to keep you climbing. Productivity became a religion. Its temples are offices. Its priests are managers. Its rituals are performance reviews. You are told to optimize your time, improve yourself, and chase efficiency, yet you are never allowed to simply exist. Every moment must now add value. Even rest has been corrupted. You don't relax to live. You relax to perform better. Vacations exist to make you more productive when you return. And when you finally break under the weight of it all, the system calls it burnout, not bondage. It sells you therapy, self-help, or a new course to become the best version of the same exhausted self. True rest is revolutionary because in stillness you begin to see the truth. That your worth was never meant to be measured in output, and your soul was never meant to serve a machine. The greatest trick of modern power is convincing you that freedom is something to earn, not something you already possess. But freedom that must be bought is not freedom, it's permission. You are not lazy for wanting peace. You are human for craving meaning. The system fears that realization more than any rebellion. So pause, breathe, step off the treadmill. The world will not end if you stop running. In that silence, you might finally hear the sound of your own life returning to you. If these words awakened something within you, remember, awakening is revolutionary.